added them on, and that's been quite powerful. But Pickford as well.
Well, the good news is for Thomas Tuchel that all 25 of England's players are out there on the grass training. They've actually been practicing a second now as well, and that's a bit of a relief for the England manager, because bear in mind the bad news we had this morning was that John Stones a big step ahead, boys. A big blow for the England manager as well, because remember John Stones has not played a minute of football since Thomas Tuchel took over. Not played a minute of football with.
Keep it nice and fast.
Variations. Desperate to see him. He said he was going to use him in a defensive midfield role this camp at some point. Really want to see him in that department, and that's an area that we know is a big concern to Thomas Tuchel, the defensive midfield position. That's why we've got Paul Elliot Anderson for the first time. He's just
four on each side. Keep the swing fast.
There's Elliot Anderson, who's been outstanding for Nottingham Forest. This is a large part of the season. Elliot Anderson. So the fact that he's been called to score for the first time means he will be very confident on making his debut at some point over the next 2 games. And hopefully trying to stake a claim for that defensive midfield spot. But losing John Stones in that position that he wanted to see.
Push, stay low the whole time. 4.
Before they even got together on Tuesday morning, because they took to Palace's part of the game. National break. So I think Tuchel is frustrated that they are missing really interesting one, the midfield, because, of course, if everyone is fit, you fully expect Jude Bellingham to be England's first choice for the 10. And Declan Rice, who's out there now, we can see Declan Rice, we can try and find him. England's number 8, and he's on that far left-hand side, look, there he is, the Arsenal midfielder. And his role's changed a little bit for Arsenal in recent times, hasn't it? He's no longer the number 6, the defensive midfield player that he's perhaps started his career at Arsenal. Mikel Arteta using it in much more of an advanced role. We've seen the goals he's scoring, the wondrous free kicks he's scoring for Arsenal. The fact he's getting in wide positions and giving the freedom to roll, a proper box-to-box number 8, who's as important in an attacking frame as it is in a defensive frame. So the impression I get is that Tuchel doesn't want to shackle Declan Rice by forcing him into that number 6 role. But it's a big question of who will be alongside Declan Rice. Of course, Jude Bellingham is not here in this camp. He's injured. The same for Bukayo Saka and Cole Palmer. And so, to that end, you say that gives a big opportunity to maybe some of the other number 10s in this squad, Morgan Gibbs-White. But let's see if we can find Eberechi. There he is, looks straight in front of us, perfect timing. Of course, fresh from his move from Crystal Palace to Arsenal, very high in confidence. Could he be used in that number 10 role over the coming games against Andorra at Villa Park tomorrow and against Serbia away on Tuesday night? We know what a protracted summer has been for Eberechi, but he's got the move that he wants, a boyhood Arsenal fan. His confidence must be absolutely sky high right now, and every time he's performed for Arsenal, Thomas Tuchel has been very, very impressed. Typically that's been coming in off the left wing, of course, rather than playing as a number 10, but you just wonder, with England needing to unlock a very stubborn low block that we're expecting from Andorra tomorrow, could Eberechi be the man? You look at the players that will be around Harry Kane to that end as well, and you think about Marcus Rashford, who's had an indifferent time of it, starting with Barcelona. But we know that Thomas Tuchel is a massive fan of Marcus Rashford, and most of the comments we're seeing about Rashford are it might just take him a bit of a time to adjust to life in La Liga. It's a very different sort of pace. It's not more technical, but the intensity and physicality of the Premier League. So it might take Marcus Rashford a little bit of time to adjust. He's such an intelligent footballer that Thomas Tuchel expects him to be able to do that, and he's very much part of England's plans for the World Cup. Even before Thomas Tuchel took the job as England manager, he phoned Marcus Rashford to tell him how important he is for England. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether Rashford features over the next couple of days as well. Well, I think it was interesting that Thomas Tuchel, the England manager, told us a couple of hours ago that Harry Kane, the captain, will definitely start this match. And it's perhaps not a huge surprise that it's early on in the season. We tend to not feature Harry Kane that much and talk about him too much because we fully expect him to start every match for England. But his extraordinary goal-scoring record, I mean, how many football fans, how many England fans are aware of just how he started the season for Bayern Munich? 6 goals in 4 games already for his club this season. He's absolutely key to England's chances of winning the World Cup next summer. And the fact that Tuchel is starting him from the start against Andorra tomorrow, I think speaks volumes. I think that June camp where England had that very lacklustre 1-0 win over Andorra in Barcelona and then lost 3-1 in the friendly at home to Senegal in the following game left a really bad taste in the mouth for supporters, but also for Thomas Tuchel. He said he was stewing on it for a couple of months across the whole of the summer. I don't think he wants to be caught out like that again. There were a number of experimental moves that he made against Andorra, with Curtis Jones starting at right back, and to be honest, it looked a bit disjointed and just didn't work. So I think we'll see England at their strongest against Andorra tomorrow at Villa Park. It's entirely clear what the strongest England side is right now, with Bellingham and Saka and Cole Palmer absent. I think that'll be really interesting to see. But if we have a quick chat about the defensive options that Gareth Southgate has got, with Stones gone, we heard from Dan Burn, didn't we, speaking earlier on. He's always easy to spot out there on the right hand side. Dan, you can pan across to him, not the far right of England's training route right now. He's the tallest man by a mile on the pitch, but he spoke incredibly well. I think it speaks a lot about his growing importance in this environment that he could speak as he did in that news conference a few hours ago. And he also, of course, spoke about Alexander Isak for the first time, the first Newcastle player to speak since Isak's departure for Liverpool. And he made it very clear that he's a friend of Alexander Isak and he doesn't hold any animosity towards him at all. But he's pleased the matter has been resolved, and he completely understands the passion of the Newcastle United support that they feel a little bit changed by Alexander Isak and the way he left the football club. But no such feelings for Dan Burn, who understands his professional football and the personal ambitions of individual players. So we expect Dan Burn, because he was put up to that news conference, to start as one of the two central defenders tomorrow, and I think you have to expect that means Marc Guehi won't start. We expect Marc Guehi to start on the bench tomorrow. There he's in the middle of your picture. Look. Guehi, of course, after that failed move to Liverpool, Tuchel praised him, said he's had a chat with him to check he's emotionally okay, but said he's in fine form and he's the consummate professional, so he's available and ready to play as soon as the England manager needs him. Looks like it would be Dan Burn instead of Marc Guehi on the left-hand side of that England central defensive partnership tomorrow. We'll try and glean some more for you over the next couple of hours, of course, about how England might line up. And in the Sunshine Team Rooms Park, all 25 players that remain in the squad are out there. They're looking healthy, they're looking energised and ready to go. Thomas Tuchel says he's seen an increased intensity from the players this week in training, probably because of his World Cup year. And we'll follow that up with a big win against Andorra at Villa Park tomorrow. Thanks, Andy. Did I say Southgate? Sorry, Andy. And the whole format went out. All right, speak to you later. Thank you. Service and